welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about being healthy, overall good health, and how we get there and how we sustain it. And no stranger to our set today is Stephany Baughman. Thank you for being here, Stephany.
Welcome.
You do so many different things, but really you are a nutritional therapist specializing in weight loss through good nutrition. That kind of encapsulates everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So give us your background, some of the things you do, and why you're doing what you're doing.
So I was unhealthy, looking at thyroid cancer at one point, and I was extremely overweight, and I did not want to go on medications, and I wanted to be around for my someday grandchildren. And so I just started really researching, studying, taking courses in nutrition, and dropped 55 pounds, and I'm on no medication, and my thyroid actually healed itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have done a lot of research and you have quite an extensive background and credentials too. Tell us those.
So I have, I'm certified in about 6 different things: sports and exercise nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and supplements, nutritional therapy, extreme weight loss practitioner. I can't think of the other 2, but
Right.
and I'm now doing cancer, longevity, and aging nutrition.
Yes, yes.
And so my heart is to help people get healthier through great nutrition, finding out what medications they're on and finding out what it's depleting in someone's body so that they can supplement with good nutrition to get their body to heal itself.
That makes total sense because we are what we eat too, right?
True.
I mean, we
We
really
so
are.
are.
So we really need to look at that. And I think too, if we look back in years past, the foods that you could get, I mean, decades when our parents were
Yes.
growing up and what we have now, we've got to really look at labels and we've got to look at what's available in the things that we eat.
You should always eat 100% organic.
Okay.
So one of my pet peeves is everybody says it's non-GMO. Non-GMO does not mean it hasn't been sprayed with chemicals or glyphosates or anything like that.
Okay.
So either have a garden, grow your own herbs, raise your own animals. Check your food out. That's the big thing. You really need to check out what you're eating for the chemicals that are inside it.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
That's huge. So when we see organic, what does that really mean?
Organic is the best thing because it means it hasn't been sprayed with chemicals and is grown organically in good soil. And,
Okay.
The biggest thing is it doesn't have chemicals.
All right. So there are things that we need to remember and to put into place for our overall good health. And obviously, having activity in our life is key too, right, Steph?
Yes, you want to have about a half an hour of an activity a day. So everybody says, oh, I don't like the gym. You don't have to go to the gym. You can go for a walk. When you're taking your garbage out, you can raise it up, put it down, raise it up, put it down, and get some muscle activity going on in there. You can chase your kids or grandkids around. You can
Right.
dance with them. There's so many things you can do to get a half an hour of exercise in a day. I worked for a physician for a time, and he was a surgeon. And I helped morbidly obese patients be able to get surgery. And they would come in and they were so sad and so downcast. Until they were with me a few weeks, they were happy. They were moving. They felt good about themselves. You want to feel good about yourselves. Life is meant to be lived,
Yeah.
and diet has the word die in it.
Yeah.
So we don't want to diet. We want to have our lifestyle change so that we can be the healthiest that we can be.
Yeah. Some of those things too, like parking a little bit further away in the parking lot.
Absolutely.
Taking the stairs instead
Of
of
the
the elevator.
elevator.
I mean, these little things that you incorporate into everyday activities, they become a natural habit then too,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So you have so much information that I know you'd like to impart on us. Why don't you start with what we need to look at too supplement-wise, because we don't always get everything from our foods, correct?
We don't always get, we don't. And so there's 40 different nutrients that your body needs.
Wow, okay.
And so you can't get it from one food source, but you don't want to cut all your food sources out.
Yeah.
So what you want to do, I'm going to skip to food and then we'll go to nutrients.
Okay.
Is what you want to do is eat a serving size. So a serving size of ice cream is a half a cup. A serving size of pasta is a half a cup. A serving size of fruit is a medium fruit. So if you,
Okay.
everybody is saying, when they come in and they are talking to me in an appointment and they start fading away, I write down what they had for breakfast. And they go, oh, I had a healthy breakfast. I had a smoothie. And I said, that's exactly what I wrote down. How much fruit did you put in that smoothie? So you want 1 serving of fruit in your smoothie. So if you want to have a strawberry, banana, apple smoothie, you can have it, but you have to use 1/3 of each of that fruit. That's a good nutrient for you.
Okay.
But if you're inundating your body with too much sugar, your body can't process it, your leptin goes up, your insulin goes up, ghrelin goes up. So leptin is a hormone. They're all 3 hormones.
Okay.
Leptin helps your body regulate fat. You have too much fat, you have too much leptin. You have too much leptin, you have too much fat. Insulin is what your pancreas does, and it takes your glucose from the sugar of your food, turns it into glycogen. Glycogen is used by every cell in your body, but if you over inundate it, now that doesn't work. So now your leptin isn't working, your insulin isn't working, ghrelin kicks in, and I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I don't think I am.
Okay.
And what that does is it says, you're starving, keep eating. And that's how people gain weight, because they'll say, yeah, this like pizza just doesn't stick with me. And I say, it's sticking all right. But your body doesn't know.
Right.
You messed your body up so much that now you're hungry all the time.
Wow. It sounds like we need better communication with our bodies.
We absolutely need better. We do. And the one thing we need to look at is what's our BMI. That's our body mass index.
Okay.
Okay, so it should be between 18 and 25, I think. Yes, that's the normal rate. So anything over 25, now you're overweight.
Okay.
Anything over 30 is obese.
Wow.
So what's an easier way? Measure your belly. So for men, below 40. For women, below 35.
Okay.
When we have too much weight, it causes so many problems. Your joints hurt. You don't sleep as well. You feel nauseous a lot of the time.
Okay.
You need better sleep patterns because now your
Yeah.
sleep's messed up.
Does it affect your blood pressure as well?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it does.
Because I've even noticed it with a few pounds.
Yes.
It's huge, isn't it?
It is huge. Yes, overweight affects your LDL, which is your lousy cholesterol, and it affects your HDL, which is your happy cholesterol.
Okay.
And it also, I have it all written down so I don't forget anything. If you're too high, if you're too fat, if you have too much weight,
right,
you have high blood sugar, your risk of type 2 diabetes is high, and metabolic syndrome is high. So metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions, and it can be one of 5 things.
Okay.
So overweight,
if you are overweight, when you start to lose weight, some of these other conditions
absolutely
can
go
start
away.
to even heal themselves,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, it's when you think about it, it's almost like magic, isn't it? But what you're doing is really helping your body help itself, right?
You're the only one that can take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So you want to be healthy so that your body can heal itself. So the only excuse you have for your condition is you.
Right.
And it's not fair to depend on another person to take care of you if you get sick.
Right. And you are with yourself 24/7.
Exactly.
So even when you're seeing your medical professionals, that you can give a lot more input than what they may just have on a chart or the few minutes they spend with you, right?
Absolutely. And you should be informed when you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You should, and you need to tell your physician if you're taking any supplements, okay? Because supplements can interfere with medication. So you don't want to take some medications. If you take a supplement, it might be depleting you, but if you take it, it makes it ineffective.
Right.
So your doctor needs to be your friend, and you need to give them as much information as you possibly can. And a lot of people just are like, no, I'm doing the right thing. No, I'm doing this, doing that. So in essence, you're not. Right. So you're paying to go to the doctor. You're not telling him the truth. So he can't help you. And doctors want to help you. That's what they went to school for. They want you to be healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we can literally be a partner with our physicians in our health and getting healthy and staying healthy, sustaining that too.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Steph, we're going to take a pause, but before we take the pause, one of the big things that you have been doing is helping people get to a healthy weight. And I know you yourself, and I've even seen a transformation with you in the past few weeks too. I mean, you've lost inches, and it hasn't been anything that was really hard for you to do, is my understanding, correct? So we're going to get into the details of that too. But if we want to find out more about you, and you also have the Tasteful Plate, which is catering, so it's really good food. Just tell us where we can find you real quick.
So if you go to thetastefulplate.com, there's all my information about everything I do on that website.
So that's the easiest place to find you.
That's the easiest place to find me.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, we're going to take a pause, and when we come back, boy, do we have a lot more information for you. Stay with us.
LCTV 66 is your community channel, and your donations keep us on the air and help to produce more local programs. Send your tax-deductible donation of $500, $100, or more to the address on the screen. Or think of it this way: for the price of a couple of movie tickets, you can help support your community channel. Send what you can and be a part of all that is good about Lancaster County. Thank you for your tax-deductible donation to LCTV 66, Lancaster's Connection.
Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about overall good health and sustaining good health too, with Stephany Baughman, who is a nutritional therapist. One of the things we were starting to talk about in the first segment was metabolic syndrome. Go ahead and address that.
Yeah, so metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions that occur together that can increase your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And nobody wants them. So having 3 of these 5 risk factors: too much fat around your waist, high blood pressure, high triglycerides. Now, triglycerides are a type of fat that's found in your blood. High blood sugar or abnormal cholesterol levels. So if you have 3 of those 5 things, you have metabolic syndrome, and you're putting yourself at a high risk. And there are many, many, many people who have that, which is alarming to me.
Yeah, it is. We're talking about healthy self, and you're saying heal thyself when you look at that.
Yeah.
Get into that stuff.
So we depend on our doctors to heal us, but we need to take charge of our own health.
Yeah.
So if you are having high triglycerides, research and find out why. What can you do to lower those triglycerides? What can you do to lose some weight?
Yeah.
You can't blame anyone but yourself. So take control of yourself. Listen to what your physician's saying so that next time you go, he can be pleasantly surprised at how much better you are just by eating good food.
Yeah. And portions. Portions are key.
Portions are key.
Yeah. And I know that I eat a lot slower, which allows my body to say, okay, I am full. And usually I take home half of what I have there, or save it for later.
Absolutely. And water. Water is so important.
Okay.
Rather than drinking empty calories are calories that you're putting in your body, but they do nothing for you. Sugary drinks, alcohol, Gatorades, all those things with high sugar.
Sodas. Oh,
Sodas are terrible. They are so full of sugar. I think 16 tablespoons in a can of Coke or something like that.
So I think what we're saying too, sugar is just all around bad for us. Is that correct?
Sugar is bad. So they did a study, and there's a center in your brain, it's called the opiate center. And so what they did was they had a target group of 12 people, and they gave them opiates, and then 12 people, they gave them sugar, and then they tested their brain. And the people who did the opiates, right in the center of your brain, it was glowing. The people who did all the sugar, it was like a pinball machine up there.
Wow.
So sugar is highly, highly addictive. Highly addictive.
Okay.
And one of the things that I recommend that people should stay away from as much as possible and do some natural sugars. I recommend stevia. It's good for you. It comes in 23 flavors. So if you really want a Coke, buy some Coke stevia, put it in some sparkling water, and drink it. With some ice, you won't know the difference.
Okay.
Honey from your region where you live gives you some natural antibodies.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the 2 I really recommend. You could do maple syrup too in small doses in your cooking.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
You don't want to overdo any of it because it will spike your blood sugars,
Okay.
make you crave more of it.
Okay. We were talking a little bit about getting some activity, and some of that was making your body having more muscle versus fat, because even in a resting state, with having more muscle, it helps burn more calories.
It
right?
does.
Yeah.
You exercise of any sort is the key, and people like shy away from exercise. So movement. Think of movement.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Just get up and move, some way, shape, or
Yes.
form. This we have to talk about because sleep is key, because when we rest, our body can help heal itself, right?
It really can. A lot of people can't sleep. So when we were made, the sun would come up in the morning, we would wake up, spend the day outside, the sun goes down, we go to sleep. Why? Because there's blue light. The blue light perks you up and wakes you up. So many people fall asleep to the TV. The TV has blue light that it's just going right at you, and so do computers. The blue light glasses help, but you want to go to sleep at night. You don't want to be awake. So I highly recommend staying away from the TV or your computer at least an hour, 2 is better, before you go to sleep. Turn your lights down as the lights go down outside, because that's what your body was made to do. Slowly go down.
Yeah.
Listen to music instead of the television. Put some candles on. Take a warm bath. Do things that help you to fall asleep. Don't jump in bed and watch TV. You're going to mess it all up again, right? Sleep is so important, and it is. If you don't get enough sleep, you tend to be heavier.
And it is different with seasons too. And when we change the clock, I mean, during the winter season, when it gets dark earlier, I'm ready to go to sleep earlier too. Address that stuff.
Absolutely true. And it's because of the blue light. So yeah, you wake up earlier.
Yeah.
You stay up later in the summer.
Yeah.
Because the sun's up
Right.
earlier.
Okay. You go
In the
with that,
winter,
too.
you sleep a little more. It's called hibernation.
Yeah. Now, I have noticed over the past few weeks with you, you have been losing inches. I mean, so quickly. It's been astounding. Tell us a little bit more about that and how you've been doing that.
So there is an all-natural supplement that is fiber-based. Doesn't interfere with medication, doesn't interfere with anything. Like pregnant women can take it. And what it does is it balances your leptin. Remember, before I said, if you have too much leptin, you have too much fat. If you have too much fat, you have too much leptin. So for years, I've been saying, oh my gosh, I need to find something to help people maintain this weight.
Okay.
Because when your hormones are messed up, your body doesn't function correctly.
Okay.
So this has helped me. You take 2 pills with water, away from caffeine, a half an hour before your meal, and it's fiber-based, and it makes you fuller longer. There's no side effects. I just am eating less. When I'm full.
Right.
You know how sometimes you can be full, but you can say, I can finish this.
Yeah.
I can't finish
I know.
it. So
Right.
it's an amazing product. And
Okay.
if people want to know more about it, they can just go
Yeah.
on my website and find out about that.
Because one of the things you do is you also help people lose weight, right?
Absolutely.
And you do that through an individual process, right? Because we all are individuals.
We are. So one of the big things that I do, and I don't know anybody else in the United States that does this, is a personality profile based on your weight. So it's a weight loss personality profile. Because how your personality is how I will explain to you how you need to lose weight. So if you're very detailed, then these are the rules. You must follow them exactly. If you're a little more artsy, okay, these are your choices. Choose what you'd like, but stay within this parameter.
Okay.
So it's very interesting because it's very successful because people open up a little more because I'm understanding who they are and how they function.
Yes.
And it really, really helps a lot with weight loss.
Yeah, that's really good. The other thing we've got to talk about is the tasteful plate,
Yes.
because I've been at several functions where you've been the caterer, and the food is just fantastic. And I know you love to cook,
I
so
do.
tell us a little bit about that stuff.
So I do love to cook, and that came from when years ago I was a photographer. My kids got sick from their immunizations,
Yeah.
and so they ended up with like 23 to 30 different food allergies. And so they're kids, so you have
Yeah.
to find things that they would like based on what? Nutritious food.
Right.
And that just snowballed into the food I make is delicious, nutritious, and good for you. And I love to make people happy with food. I just love to see their happy little faces when they're eating my food.
Yeah, that's true. So if we were to capitalize everything we've been talking about today, overall good health starts with us being aware of our own bodies, taking charge with our physicians and partnering, and the key elements we want to remember are what, Steph?
Good nutrition.
Okay.
Absolutely portion control. You have to eat the serving size. And I say that over and over to people, just eat the serving size. Well, I had some nuts. Well, how many did you have? A half a bag? One handful. One handful of nuts.
Yeah.
Look at the serving size, and if you can't picture it on your own, then measure it out and put it in little baggies. Keep it in your car. Also, you want to just drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Water is good for so many things. It helps your function, it helps your sleep, it helps your whole body. If you're drinking water and you're eating well, you're going to see a reduction in your weight.
Yeah. Yeah, you really will. So if we talk about organic foods, which we hit on, really look at getting organic foods. Try to grow some of your own.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also a cool idea that sometimes, you can share with a friend, or a friend may have a garden, or you may have a garden together that you can start to do. These are things that we used to do years ago. Well, why not get back into some of that again, right? And then, of course, sleep. Make sure you get enough sleep, because that's the time for your body to help repair, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really is. So if we want to find out more about you, the simplest place to go find you is where?
ThetastefulPlate.com.
Okay, that's really easy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much today, Steph, for being with us and sharing what you know as a nutritional therapist, because it really is key to our overall health. Okay, thanks. And thank you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.